Hey, Ken. Hey. How you doing, Steve?
Hey, John.
Whoa. Carl. There's Anna. There's Chris. Hey, guys. Yeah. Okay, 935-2951 is the number. Hey, Steven.
Hey,
How you doing?
Mr. Nocturne.
Nocturne.
Mr.
You guys
Nocturne.
gonna be videotaping this and doing the radio thing? Yes, we are. So, hey, Jared, can I come over here? Can I have a picture with you?
Swing.
Okay, we're moving in right now to, once again, the Mud Gallery. We are...
And it's getting hot in here. I'm taking off my
Take off your
my
shirt.
sweater. My knitted
Ow.
sweater.
Okay, I'm moving on in. Oh, here's a nice table. Karen!
Hi. Oh, you have cute earrings.
She looks cute today, and we're moving along. There's Steve.
Oh.
Let me introduce you to a couple people.
There's some
Barry.
serious booty shaking.
Right there. This is Barry. Barry is a producer. He's been living here for about 3 years. He's done a lot of work. He used to run the, what was that? Milk Hole Co-op in San Diego, if you guys are familiar with that. It's one of the only millionaire co-ops that exists in California. So we're excited to have
Actually,
Barry.
one of three.
Boom.
He's the third richest.
Cal, how you doing? Hey, sweetheart. Okay, we are live at the Mud Gallery today.
Yep.
That's 2 Ds, M-U-D-D, Mud Gallery, and we're going to be looking at some different pieces by some different artists, some of them here, some of them not.
Yep.
Hopefully we're going to be talking to some other artists who have shown in the past at the Mud Gallery. This exhibit's theme is saying the word women. And, wow, it's really weird. The number is 935-2951. Hit it!
Oh, I'm just going to take a little break and dance here.
Okay. Well, Zab's moving along. I'm going to describe some pieces that are being shown at the Mud Gallery today. Zab! Get over here, man. What are you doing?
I'll be right over.
Tell Kevin. Okay, we are live at the Mud Gallery. This is some interesting piece. This is the wall. I like this a lot. It's extremely tactile. It's also a parody of art that purports to be tactile. Whatever tactile means, this is definitely made of plaster or... Yes, and it is the Wall of Breasts. And this is a piece that they had stalled. I think he's shown some work in the Melbourne Gallery. He's a younger gentleman. Julio Schatzberg, the Wall of Breasts. And Julio, can I talk to you for a second? Yeah. Okay, Julio might come over in a minute or two, but right now we're looking at the Wall of Breasts, which is an interesting piece. Like I said, I'm sensing, I don't know, Zab, what do you think about Wall of Breasts?
I feel like it's kind of unique and has a sort of energy about it that I guess I've never really encountered anything quite this daring.
Yeah, right.
In the sculptural sort of plaster realm.
Well, it seems to me like part of that slap in the face thing that what Julio is doing is it's sort of like he's saying what does it mean to say the word woman, much like the theme of the show. And I think for a lot of people, unfortunately, this is what it means. It means a wall of boobs. And Julio's walking around right now with the boob cam on, and he's and he's trying to Julio. Okay. And he's walking around with a boob cam on, and someone is taking photographs of him with the boob cam on. And this is a wall of breasts, and it's called the Wall of Breasts. And like I said, I think it's sort of a parody of what we see in the plastic arts as being tactileness. Often you hear artists say, I like to work with the materiality, with the material itself. Well, fair enough. And in a lot of socio-normative scales, this is working with the material. A wall of breasts. That's the material. Yeah. So moving along, Zav, what are you seeing over on this side of the gallery?
Well, what this is kind of a unique piece. It's an umbrella.
Oh.
And it's a photoshopped umbrella. And, and the Photoshop tools are still there. They're showing the tools. They're showing the materials.
Yeah.
And the umbrella is turning and being turned in different directions by the artist.
Yeah.
Who is enclosed in a container, one of those containers that you see at Walmart. It's like a keep tight type of container.
Like a Ziploc thing. You know, it's funny you mentioned Ziplocs because this is again. Oh, this is Steve Corrington. He lived. He went on a Fulbright for about 3 years. Lived in Cancun. Apparently financed. It says here in his bio, financed a small revolution in a rural area outside of Ecuador. Mm-hmm. Just like on the near the coast. So I guess is that Julio over there? Julio, I want to talk to you a little bit about this. No. All right, he's still moving around. So the umbrella is turning in this piece. It's just kind of turning in a circle. I wonder if maybe there's a sort of a like sly commentary here on the tradition of realism in art. What does it mean to be real? What is a realism? Does it mean the illusion of depth, as brought up through the traditions of Giotto and Steven Spielberg? Or does it, I mean, how are we formatting these traditions or these categories of art history? How are we formatting them?
Well, also there's the incomplete quality of the work.
Yeah,
the fact that it's
unfinished.
That it's and yet that the piece is the piece itself. So what we see right now is the piece.
Right.
And yet the umbrella itself, the image of the umbrella, is something that normally you'd be you're gonna print it, you're gonna put it out on some other material, but you're actually here. You're with the material. It'd be like if someone was to make a feature film on iMovie.
Sure.
And yet
we'd snicker.
And you only use iMovie, like all the everyone receives it as an iMovie project that they're
thinking iMovie.
They can reshape, re-edit, and that's what's happening with this umbrella. Just as we just saw, the umbrella went from kind of a polka dotted red to like moving rainbows, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, now it's splintering out. Oh, okay. And it's coming back again. The rainbow went to a rainbow and then went.
And now,
okay.
And this is great. This is very emblematic of sort of the ambiguity of the statement by using a Gaussian blur.
Yeah.
And then just using it as a paintbrush. He's paintbrushing a Gaussian blur over the umbrella, which of course, we know umbrellas are often rain and fog and a Gaussian
so he seems
blur.
to be clarifying.
Yes. When your glasses get wet in the rain, of course they blur, and then also fog comes with rain, and you often London fog and so on. So you can see he's adding this Gaussian blur while he's at the same time referring to eyeglasses being wet in the rain, and all of this is happening. Right in
front of us
as we speak, and we are part of the piece as well.
Yeah, I didn't notice myself until you said us.
You and
now.
I, and we are in the window of the gallery.
Right.
And then we're part of the spectacle as well.
Oh, we didn't mention that. That's a good point. We're also we're kind of taking a look around right now, but we will be installed in the Mud Gallery as part of the gallery showing. We
are in the window right now.
We're actually stationed just by the window of the gallery, making sort of actually our gallery be outside of the window. As passerby walk past, we are doing our show, and we are here observing art at the Mud Gallery, 935-2951. A lot of very exciting artists here. Jamie Cortazar, Julio Schatzberg, as I mentioned before. Lillian Grubb is going to be showing her portraits of cognitively disabled pets. Which is an exciting show. I didn't catch that in New York. Did you see that one?
No.
But she brought it here, which is exciting.
Who's doing the factory?
Oh yeah, that's a very exciting piece. If we move to the back here, you're gonna see some framed pictures, which I will describe to you, the listener, 935-2951. Give us a call. These are pictures here at the Mud Gallery installed, and is this Lillian's work? I don't think so. Yes, it is. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is, okay. This is Kurt Meinzelhofer's. Yes, Kurt Meinzelhofer, who is a very interesting artist.
And the music is by Wyatt Kush.
Wyatt Kush.
Keush.
What Schultzberg has done here essentially is he was a philanthropist for the last several years. I believe he lived in Berlin. Made a lot of money. Has always had, you know, a sort of steady, what they like to call in the art business, sort of just a palette. You know, I've heard that called your bank, you know, well, I better check the palette, you know, as like Christoph always used to say. But this work is very exciting because it's portraits of factory workers.
Yeah.
And I believe it's some sort of poultry farm, slaughterhouse, but it's portraits of them. And what I've read in the bio here is that he actually bought the factory itself.
Right.
And he had the workers continue to work there, even though none of these chickens that were being killed are going to any food. He had the workers continue to work there, gave them a slight raise, you know, a social concern is, you know, put there, and then simply to photograph them. So he's been photographing the workers in the factory that he bought in 1998. So he's been photographing them for several years now, getting to know the workers personally. You can see in this picture, it says Joe takes a smoke break, and you can see there's blood on his gloves. He's outfitted with goggles on. You can see a sack of chickens, and and here's a video screen with some of the workers talking about working at the poultry farm factory, the poultry factory, I guess. And if I can just get a little closer. See, yes, there's a note. There is a heavy element of pathos to his work. I will say that. I mean, I'm terribly moved right now.
Here comes Virgil Butler. Virgil? He's working. He's doing something with the chickens right now. But when he has a minute, I'm sure you'll have time.
Sure.
Virgil?
Oh, it's we're Skyping.
And my name.
Virgil, could you tell us a little bit about working at the fake poultry farm slaughterhouse factory? Virgil. This interactive screen right here with one of the factory workers.
I saw people stomping birds to death. I saw them bouncing them against the wall.
Let's get a little closer.
Into a dumpster live where the DUAs go. They're supposed to everything get dead when he goes in there. I saw people pull chickens' legs off, throw them in the floor, let them lay there all night long. I saw people run over chickens with forklifts. I've seen chickens frozen to the belt. I've seen them frozen to the sides of cages. Just, if you could imagine it, and it's horrible, I've seen it happen.
My God.
The killing machine sits in underneath the line. It's run by hydraulics. It has a razor sharp blade about 4 inches across in diameter, about 4 inches in diameter, you know, like that. And what it does is it's got these 2 bars that catch the chicken's head, and this blade cuts their throat. Well, if the chicken is not stunned right, then it sees the killing machine coming, and it can't avoid it. Even if it is stunned right, it can see it. Well, even when they're stunned, they're only immobilized muscularly. I mean, you know, it's just their muscles that are immobilized. They're not insensible. They know what's going on. The whole point behind stunning them is to leave them alive so that their heart keeps pumping even after their throat is cut.
Virgil is a factory worker.
Because on the way home one night,
wow, incredible. That is an amazing piece of work. Done again by Julio Schatzberg's ex-partner. And that was, is that Wilhelm Cornelius's poultry factory farm I bought in order to photograph the workers. And that was an interview. With one of the workers at this piece,
Lots of cool art at the Mud Gallery today.
Lots of it. Hey guys, if you're listening, tuning in right now, hello caller, we are live at the Mud Gallery. Close your tabs. Close every tab one at a time, baby. Oh, here comes the man himself. Gary
Hodel.
Gary Hodel, who is the curator of tonight's show.
Yep. Gary, I can see you're a big fan of the Packers. You're a Packer backer, Gary?
Yeah. Gary, I want to ask you one thing.
Gary,
what piece here tonight was the most exciting for you to land? You guys say this. Well, we got Raymond Pettibon we paid him like $1 million to graffiti the bathroom, so that's pretty cool. Thanks a lot. Oh, and some people are grabbing Gary out of here, and let's go over by the window here and sit down for a minute. We are stationed as an installation live in the Mud Gallery. In the window of the Mud Gallery, and we have a lot of different up-and-comers doing, again, the theme of the show, the Mud Gallery tonight was, and here things just got a little more interesting.
Oh my God, Zach.
Wow, and here comes some of the factory workers.
You're a popular man tonight.
Oh. All right. Well, we're getting close to that time, 2:20, where we will be having our forum, the Hello Caller Forum. We're going to be discussing a topic. It's a program we talked about doing.
As yet not announced.
As yet not announced. But, yeah, we're just checking out a lot of interesting work here. I'm wondering why it is that there are so many beautiful, beautiful men and women here tonight at the Mud Gallery with 2Ds.
Where do all the insecure people go? That's my question.
I have no idea. I think that they are listening right now to Hello Caller 935.
So all those insecure people at home, you're missing out on a great party.
Hey guys. 935-2951 is the phone number to call us live at the Mud Gallery on Hello Caller. And I just want to talk about one other piece that I thought was kind of cool.
Jenny Holzer's piece?
Gary would laugh at me saying cool. Hey man, rad! Oh, so sick! This is Janet Brandon's pics of Bob Newhart. And Bob Newhart is looking pretty similar in all of the pictures. And Jan, I guess, only does pictures of Bob Newhart, which is an interesting thing. I know a lot of artists. She only does pictures of Bob Newhart.
Interesting.
And and here's a Kurt. Okay, if I can describe, in the corner of the gallery, we have several cameras pointed at the very corner of the floor. And I'm walking up to the floor. Excuse me, Steve. Okay, and I'm looking down, and I am seeing. There's nothing in the corner, but there are lots of lights on it, and there are cameras all pointed at it. So, sort of a fresh take on four wall profundity, as they say.
Look over here. See. Now. You probably can't hear this. The audience can't see what we're seeing here, but all of the Bob Newhart paintings are just here in this dark corner.
Oh, they've been moved.
Out of the way. Well, no, I think that's on purpose. I think that's the gesture that she's making.
That's incredible. We're live at the Mud Gallery 2Ds. We just saw some piece by Josef Saltzman, and he did the factory poultry farm, which I bought in order to photograph the workers for years. And as we said, that was very moving. We had a live video Skype with one of the workers in the poultry farm that works in the slaughter area. We had another chicken packer, like some video going on there. And meanwhile, so it's multimedia. It was a multimedia. Would you call that a multimedia installation? Is that what that is technically?
I don't even know what to call it.
What's the category for that?
Reality. It's reality transposed.
Okay, if you've heard a description of this piece of art, the Josef Saltzman's factory poultry farm, which I bought in order to photograph the workers for years, give us a call, 935-2951, if you'd like to help us contextualize this piece, which you have not actually seen. We've only described to you. Which is refreshing, because I think people get sick of having to see everything all the time. Do you think that's nice that they only get to hear us to describe these experiences that we're semi-articulate in describing?
Well, I think that that's part of the piece. that they don't see it and that they have to imagine it because we're describing
Yeah.
it from the window.
From the window, which people
the
are
mud
passing,
gallery.
generally not looking in, though we are gazing longingly out.
Well, we have a
Which is
bamboo
part of it.
shade that I put up
Yeah,
to
which is-
block the sun, but then the sun went away.
Yeah.
So I guess it blocked the sun in another sense.
Yeah.
In a much larger sense.
It's a
Like
bigger
cosmic
sensibility.
Somehow by putting up a shade, I cosmically made the sun go away.
It made it disappear because it seems as though, it seems as though some of the pieces. This is interesting. Right now to the left of me we have, Maureen Dowd. Oh my God! Look at who's here.
Jenny Holzer.
Jenny Holzer's here? Mm-hmm. Okay, we have some more people coming in. Oh. Okay, Steve LeBlanc just walked in. He used to write for Art Forum in the 60s. And he right now is talking to who I am assuming is Julian Schnabel. Can you get a confirmation on that? Is that Julian Schnabel?
I know his work, but I don't know what he looks like.
That's really weird.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't know Julian.
He does. At least he does. Right. Okay. So we have quite a bumping atmosphere here today at the Mud Gallery.
Yeah.
But it is time for
Our interview with Jenny Holzer.
Jenny Holzer.
Yeah.
Oh, let's.
Jenny, let's just. She's in the middle of a conversation with someone else, but let's just.
Could I talk to her for a second?
Not
Excuse me,
me.
Jenny.
There are many different voices on a host of unmentionable subjects. Somebody was kind enough to put top 10 favorites. Let's see if they're ours.
She's looking at a top 10.
that
Jenny,
colors
I was wondering if I could talk to you for a second. I'm sorry to interrupt. I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions about your work. Is that all right?
Yeah, there you go. The
Thanks.
end of the USA is probably too vile, right?
Yeah, it's really vile.
Canada.
Canada,
So I
yeah.
guess that's not happening.
No.
And David,
Yeah. So, I wanted to ask you, you've been an artist for a long time. Did you have to deal with a lot of material issue? Like, did you have to worry about where your materials came from, or did you find a way to supplant your income or fund that in some way outside of the academic structure for a period, or?
come back to him.
Well,
Thanks, Jenny.
thanks. Well, I guess she has to go.
Oh, Jenny, do you have to? Could we actually ask you one more question? Do you ever find that your work actually gives you some kind of outlook on your own personal experiences? Do you separate them?
Or is timidity laughable?
Is timidity laughable? Maybe.
I stopped writing my own text in 2001. I found that I couldn't say enough adequately,
Yeah.
and so it was with great pleasure that I went to the text of others.
Oh, well, like,
Well,
would you,
yeah, that makes a lot of sense to go to other people's text. I understand that because in a certain
And
what was good about that?
Of doing text in the wall, not memorial text, but text about the joy of being in New York City.
yeah, you lived there off and on for several years, and I'm wondering, like,
I think that your work does really help. You know, in a way, it adds to that joy of being in New York City. Is
Yeah.
your work? I think of Jenny Holzer's work when I am.
I think in New York, I think of Jenny Holzer pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, in a certain way, you decorate New York City, which
Yeah.
is pretty interesting, with important thoughts.
Why do you feel the need to represent an exterior or perhaps even political reality?
As eager as anyone else to see how it will be.
Oh, yeah, because it's an experiment essentially in some sense.
From the poetry by others.
Yeah, I mean, there is poetry everywhere, I guess is what you'd say, right?
that can have to do with the color and
Yeah.
the pauses, the omissions.
Oh, yeah. Omission. It's interesting that you say omission because it's as though when you leave something out, it can be just as powerful a gesture as maximizing conceptions about said gesture.
So if you're game, that would be really handy.
Yeah, I'd be game. Thanks a lot,
So,
Jenny.
Thanks, Jenny.
Appreciate. Let's keep. I'm gonna walk.
We're
over
gonna move out
to
of
the
this
wall
area.
again of the Mud Gallery where we are live.
And we have our next topic.
It's time for our forum. Could you get that music go like the? Hey, Steve, Nick, hi. Could we get that set back over here? 935-2951 is the number, and we are live at the Mud Gallery with 2Ds,
Right.
and we are just kind of experiencing a lot of different art, talking to artists, looking at work, watching installed video, being filmed, watching people take photographs of the artists while they make films. And it's 2:25, which means it's time for our forum, where we talk about a different topic.
But hey, Zach, have you noticed it's getting really hot? Like I'm down to like my tank top here.
Yeah, it's a
I
little
don't know,
warm.
When we were outside, it was earlier on. It was warm, unseasonably warm, but it seems like it's getting really hot.
Well, it's been getting hotter and hotter every day, and it's getting hotter and hotter every minute because our forum is now commencing.
Hey, and you know what? You know what I can't stand?
Yeah. What can't you stand
I can't
off?
stand a bully.
Me neither. I
can't stand someone who bullies people.
Yeah.
Tells them what to do, kicks them around.
Bullying has been found to be an epidemic in the United States today. When a survey was conducted independently by the New York Times last year, it found that 90% of all teenagers have at some point experienced bullying, whether it be physical abuse, verbal abuse, psychological abuse. These things add up, people.
Right.
And if you're wondering why some kids today fall aside on the tracks, maybe it has something to do with a problem which reportedly is an epidemic, and it's bullying. Every poll, every survey we have conducted of kids has shown that they believe bullies
And that's why
are real.
That's why we are launching our anti-bullying campaign here.
That's right.
On Hello Caller today.
We want to talk to both sides so we can maybe work out something
Between the bullies and the bullied.
and the bullied. And I think that, okay, if I can just back up for a second here and rewind the tape, all I want to say is that there are two sides to every story, as we knew, and only two.
Right.
So we want to get both sides. We want to talk to the bullies and the bullied and make sure.
And we're going to put those bullies in their places.
We're going to put them in their places, and we're also going to maybe try to open up and wonder, I want to say this, maybe there's something missing in their life. Maybe we want to find out why does a bully become a bully? Maybe it's not always what we think it is. Maybe a bully is someone who sees it as their only option in life to bully.
You know what? If you're a jerk to other people, then you're just a jerk. And that's the way I see it.
Yeah.
And you should be punished. I think bullies should be kicked out of school, and they shouldn't be let back in.
You don't think so?
Unless they're never gonna bully again.
What about if we
In
had?
fact, you know what? I wonder if it would help. Who's to say we shouldn't just kick some bullies out of schools today?
Yeah.
And that'll teach a lesson to all the other bullies to just stay the hell
it'll
out
give
of
a good
school.
example.
Not even bother coming to the school.
Right. Well, I think that another issue that could be raised is, as we know, I'm sure Mr. Belling who comes after us on the radio, will be discussing, which is teachers. Hello, bing bong.
Yeah.
If I can maybe summarize a point that could be coming at any point, what more do you people want? And meanwhile, bullies continue to grow and fester like a crabweed that will not go away. Like Japanese knotweed.
Right.
It just comes up under the foundation, and you can't kill it until you get a specialist in there. And this state cannot afford more education specialists. How many more specialists do we need? So our forum.
If you're a bully,
give us a call.
Or if you've been bullied, call us at 414-935-2951. We're talking about bullies today.
And being bullied.
This is the anti-bullying campaign.
We want to know, why is this happening?
Why are you a jerk? That's my question.
Zav wants to know why you're a jerk. I want to know, hey, is that the only option you think you have? Do we got the lines open right now? Are things rolling?
Yeah, the lines are open, and we're open. We're ready to receive calls. We're ready to receive your calls.
All right. Well, a lot of people today have found out that, and this is another study that was conducted independently by a think tank group from Iowa City, and they found, interestingly, that bullies tend to actually feel themselves to be misunderstood. And that's an interesting thing to me. I think bullies are jerks, but what makes a jerk tick, I guess? And we got a call on the line, 935-2951. You're on the air. Hello, caller.
Weak.
Sounds like a bully. Hey, what's your name, and are you calling as a bully or the bullied?
I'm calling, guys. First off, you're both wimps and you sound like crap.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You're a big jerk. You know what? You sound like crap too. Go ahead. Are you a bully? Sounds like it.
Let's steer this in a more constructive direction, guys. I want to talk to you. What was the name again? Steve?
My name's Big Old Dean Swan. I run the charter school. I run a bully charter school.
Oh, okay. Well,
Big Old Dean Swan.
Sure. Okay, this is answering a lot of her. Well, then I'm glad we got you, Big Old Dean. I'm glad we got you on the program.
I've got a question for you, Big Old Dean.
Okay, Zab.
Why are you such a jerk?
Willie?
Okay, well, Dean, Big Old. Is it Big Old? Can we call you Big Old?
You can call me Fart.
Thanks, Dean. You run a charter school. What was the name of the charter school? And you say it is run exclusively for bullies. It's a private school.
Because there's all this talk about bullies getting bullied and bullies bullying, but no one's thinking about the bullies.
Right. How do you feel running that charter school?
Come from nowhere.
Yeah. How do you feel about the topic of the change in the school lunch program curriculum, running a private charter school for bullies?
I think they should put a big pile of food on the ground and let the tough kids just pick the good food. That's what we do in my district, 87. It's a charter school.
Yeah.
It's directed by Papa Shango, former WWF wrestler.
Oh, he's been, yeah. And did he run for assemblyman like 2 years ago? Was that correct?
A school board.
Oh, school board. That's right. So, being a bully, what would you call bully principles that you are foistering upon? I mean, let's use a better word that you're educating young people with. Like, what are some principles?
We've reclaimed the word bully.
Claim the word bully.
We've reclaimed it. We use bully. We call each other bully. We make songs where we call each other bully.
So, a bully knowing that a bully is a bully is. You feel a step in a more positive direction for our kids in their future?
It helps establish a hierarchy.
Oh, right. So that one at least knows their place is yours.
Well, I mean, you can tell a couple ways.
Yeah.
Arm strength.
Arm strength is one.
Scribbling with permanent marker skills.
Scribbling with permanent marker skills, yeah.
Kind of a Jungian transition of knowledge of different ways to put people's heads in toilets or put human saliva in their ear.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right. The collective unconscious and its relation to bullies.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, wimp.
When you bully, don't you feel bad about hurting other people's feelings?
Let's talk about feelings there. How do we deal with psychological development at that stage, which is very crucial? How do we deal with that?
Think about it for 1 second. I'm a 47-year-old man. I've got 5 bullies of my own. I raised them to bully.
Right.
That's what this society's all about, bullying.
Uh-huh. What are some of the career paths?
That's so sad. I just want to say that is so sad.
It is. I suppose from one, yeah. What are some of the...
Cry once. I never cry. I'm not a wiener.
Right. What are some of the career paths that you find that bullies can look to in the job market today? Because let's be honest, things aren't looking so great right now. What are some solid marketable career option job paths? Like, what are the programs that you're offering at the charter school that relate to today's new economy, new workplace?
Yeah, I'm glad you bring that up.
Yeah.
Wuss. Because there are a few options, and unlike a lot of the wimp population,
Sure.
we're on the up. All right, we've got regular talk show hosts, not like for virgin ones like you're doing right now.
Right.
Tough man competitions, construction, political, a failed political adversary that now has their own talk show.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's many splendored.
Okay. Do you have any graduates of your charter school that might be notable in any field or career?
Yeah, I'll give you one right here. His name is Todd.
Oh. Todd. What does Todd do
He
for a
was
living?
valedictorian last year.
Oh, okay. And what career path is he moving into? Oh, okay. Cool.
Oh,
What do your parents think of you? What do you think your parents think of you?
my dad beat me up a lot. My mom beat him up a lot, so I don't care.
Okay, now
And this is the
imagine
valedictorian.
you're talking to Dad right now. Tell Dad what you think. Tell Dad how you feel.
I
I am talking to Dad. Dad just gave me the phone.
I'm sorry, what's your name again, son?
My name's Todd.
This is Todd, and you were the valedictorian.
I'm the son of big old Dean Swan.
Big old Dean, who we just had the...
Hold on, Dad.
I'm sorry.
It's my turn to talk. It's my turn, Dad.
Right. Could you tell us a little bit about what the experience is like? And your father just told us that you were the valedictorian of your class. What are you feeling? How did you feel about having a bully education specifically?
Well, I mean, I was going to regular school, and everyone, regular public school. Everyone criticized me because I put gum in their hair, because I put stink bombs in their locker.
Stink bombs.
I had a few different types of slurs that I had made up that I was quite proud of and spent time on.
On racial slurs.
Granted, this was in the late 90s.
Oh, it was a different time, actually. That was a different... I mean, in terms of PC.
In my day,
Todd, it sounds like you're a really creative person, and it really hurts me. It really troubles me to see young creative people like yourself using your creativity for bullying.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also a published poet.
Really?
Can you ask us? Okay, this is a little tangential.
I was in Letters Quarterly. I had a thing I did a couple months ago with Jeffrey Skinner.
Oh, wow. So you do have a creative outlet, even as a bully, essentially.
Yeah, but I threatened him to publish me.
Okay, so you have gone to a bully school, your father's charter bully school. You're very immersed in
charter academy. Don't be a jerk.
Okay, sorry about that.
Can I ask you? Do you think that bullying is on the rise? You're saying. Do you have statistical information? Do you have numbers to back that up?
To the contrary, I'd say. Anecdotally, young lady, I don't have any numbers, but I do feel that watching these new kids come through the bullying school, that they, only through this charter school and others like it, there's another startup in San Jose, I've heard.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I have a neat question.
Yeah.
Real quick. Sorry to just jump in there.
Hold on, Dad.
Oh,
are there bullies at bully school? I mean, are there bullies who bully other bullies?
Yeah. I mean, is there a hierarchy within the school itself? That's a very interesting question.
Are there losers?
It's built on Maslow's hierarchy of bullying needs.
Oh, okay. So essentially, it's sort of like a logical positivist sort of philosophical foundation you guys are rolling with there. Probably a little
extension of where we were going anyway, and it gives us an opportunity we didn't have in the public school.
Interesting.
Plus, we learn trades like breaking rocks.
Right. Well, that is a trade. I mean, with the new job market, I mean, everything has changed, obviously. China, all the metal prices are going to shoot through the roof again like they did in
Have you met
early aughts.
China bullies? I met a China bully on a study abroad.
Really? That's fascinating. So you did study abroad?
Yes, in Shanghai. Through the bullying academy.
That's fascinating. Well, I suppose the rock breaking market there has kind of shifted. I hear that a lot of people are actually moving overseas while retaining American citizenship just to get menial work. But I wanted to ask you something.
Rocks over there.
I'm really honored to have your father on the program. I'm really honored to have a young bully on the program to get your perspective. And this is something that your father said you've reclaimed. You have obviously an ethical and a philosophical background for what it might mean in society to embrace being a bully, which apparently is considered an epidemic by the New York Times, bullying. But I wanted to ask you, because I always think of a bully and I think of this, what song is in your head right now? What song right at this moment is in your head?
Ace of Spades, usually.
Yes.
Sometimes after a bullying incident, earlier today, I had a lunch break at Pudler Hall, and the song in my head was Back in the Saddle Again.
Right now, sing what's in your head.
It went back to Ace of Spades.
It did. Ace of Spades. Ace of Spades.
No, not that one.
Oh. Which one?
Oh, it was a different one.
Oh, okay. Well,
by the new vaudeville band.
Oh, okay. Sure. Is there sort of like a, I don't know how to explain this, but accurately, is there, when one becomes a bully, do you find that it's a choice, or do you feel there's something latent in your nature, almost as though one could say there's something inextricably about who you are from birth, or at some
Nature
early
or nurture, you say?
yeah, or from some early well, it doesn't have to be that simplified. It could be like some early developmental stage. It's like, bam, my DNA is bully DNA. I'm a bully.
I'm torn over that. I have 5 brothers, as my mean jerk of a father said earlier. I have 4 brothers. I'm the third of 5.
Mm-hmm.
3 of them, not me, were literally pulled from my mother's womb.
Pulled out.
Pulled directly out and
Right.
screamed at.
Yeah.
With various epithets or thoughts on a certain football player that my father had at that moment.
Right.
The other 2, he was off bullying and fighting doctors and nurses, now one of those being me.
Right.
I've never felt left out of that bullying loop,
Sure.
but I see the aggression in my 3 brothers.
Mm-hmm.
That said, I've met other bullies, many
Yeah.
good bullies, great bullies, I might say.
Sure.
I bullied with the best
Right.
that either had no parents at all or had completely loving, hippie, lousy parents.
Right. And that's,
Look at him now.
it's the cultural divide. Some call it the culture wars, and maybe we never left them. They were supposed to have ended somewhere around like 98 or 99, the culture wars, but
Hey, I don't want to cut you off,
Sure.
girl, but there's a nerd walking down the street, and I gotta get back to my lunch break, so I'm gonna beat him up.
okay. Well, I mean, that's what you do as a bully. I'm glad we got to learn a lot more about what a bully is, where a bully comes from.
And I think you should feel ashamed of yourself for
I
everything.
thank both of you guys. I thank you for having me on, and also both of you shut up.
Okay, thanks. We were talking to Lil Jer, I believe, son of... Is that right? I'm sorry. Son of Big Old Daryl. What was it? Daryl?
Big old Dale.
Big Old Dale, who runs a bully charter school. We did not fully identify exactly where that charter school is located for legal reasons. But yeah, that was our forum, and we got to talk to some bullies about bullying.
Yeah. And I feel, we're doing this on air. Well, we're doing this on Hello Caller because we really feel strongly about this, right? And
Yeah.
Yeah. I just hope that we can see an end to bullying at the end of this decade. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel.
Well, I guess maybe if a bully can put, what is that bullying impulse? That impulse to stick your finger in someone's ear for no reason, or to be constantly acting in a way that screams, "Give me attention, cruelty is funny, isn't this unexpected of me?" Or, "Geez, you are so, wow, you sweat profusely. You must be some kind of moron alien.
Yeah.
You're really smart. Like, what the F are you doing at recess reading a book instead of throwing rocks at a dumpster?"
I'm so jealous of you because you have,
we got a call on the line, 935-29...
Timberlands,
Yeah, Timberlands and Bugle Boy shirts.
I can't afford them.
Right. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Are you a bully or a bullier? You are on our forum. Hello, caller.
I think it's a bully.
Hello.
It's a prank call. Typical. Caller? Oh my God.
All right. 935-2951 is still our number. We are still Hello Caller, and we are live at the Mud Gallery today. We were looking at some different pieces by different artists. Would you say that what we do is art?
You're asking me?
Yeah, what are we doing right now? Is this art?
Yeah,
it is! Taste it! We are live at the Mud Gallery right now. And here comes some different figures. Here comes Julio Schatzman. There is work being exhibited right now. Hey, ladies! Ooh! Don't step on the... Okay, I'm going to go take a look over by the champagne table. We have several... We have
several brands.
Robert Hughes, the notable, for years, Times art critic, is talking right now to Julian Schnabel in the corner. I see Julio Schatzberg, and his piece earlier was shown on the program. Ooh. and everyone seems to be enjoying. There's a lot of conversation going on. I walk
Lots of
around.
high fives.
I hear a lot of names. I hear a lot of interesting up-and-coming artists
Two
being
fingers.
mentioned. This really is Mud Gallery, the place where if you are an up-and-coming artist in Milwaukee, you really want to be seen. You're going to have a lot of students coming in for extra credit to see your work.
I gotta say, most of the people are in the pool right now. Not many people looking at the art.
Nah, they're talking a little bit more than we were looking at the art, I'll be honest with you. But looking at the art is hard work. Sometimes you need a break from the looking.
I'm looking at some art myself right now.
There goes Katie and Cecile, who have been occasional staff members.
Hey!
And she is stoned. Sweetheart, hello. And there are some different people wandering around. I see, Martin Greenberg. What up? Martin Greenberg is an art critic.
Yep.
Who from out of town right now.
Mr. Nocturne
Writes for the
again.
Mr. Nocturne. And I'm walking along a wall of Andy Warhol frames. Interesting.
Oh.
These are all original frames used and the canvas stretchers originally used for Andy Warhol. We have insane prices for these actually.
Yeah.
This is like $6
what's
million for one of his
interesting-
frames.
Yeah.
Soft B prices, but we do have the clientele that'll buy it, I'm sure.
Yeah, and what he's doing is reappropriating the frames and the stretchers.
Yeah. What is the frame of art? What is our context for art?
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
how do we hold our work, the behind the scenes a little bit.
Right.
Of how our work is held and upheld.
It's like the PC or Mac question. Close your tabs, ladies and gentlemen. 935-2951. If you want to be part of the excitement and be here live at the Mud Gallery with two D's, we are dropping down and dirty right now. Battleship is also exhibiting here, and I am moving along the podium, and I'm taking a look. This is an artist who lived for about 7 years in Tokyo on a Fulbright scholarship also, and his work, and he goes by the name Battleship. And what he does is first-person shooters, like in the manner of Warcraft, or what is this? I'm seeing about 4 different
World of
laptops,
Warcraft?
and they're all hooked up together in a circle, sort of like a drum circle.
I don't know my video games, but I think it's World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft. Okay.
Yeah.
And we have about 7 or 8 laptops. They're all hooked up in a circle, something like you'd imagine a drum circle.
A little bit like the icon of the World of Warcraft logo.
You can kind of see that it.
If you look carefully.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look like the logo for the company that makes the actual World of Warcraft, a popular video game with a lot of different demographics. And this piece here by the artist known only as Battleship is a row of about 7 laptops that are all hooked up together, and they are all facing each other. And on each one of them is an empty first-person shooter screen. In other words, each has a video game, World of Warcraft, I think. Yes, it is, and they're all facing each other. But there's nothing to shoot. There's nothing to shoot
Well,
left.
they're shooting the screen. They're shooting
each other.
So it's
These
kind of
laptops
like
are shooting each other.
2 virtual
literally.
realities that are
Nice.
fighting with each other. So you have these two
Yes.
two-dimensional
I see it.
worlds
I see it.
facing one another. Which what that says is interesting because obviously if you lived in a two-dimensional world, you wouldn't be able to see into the third dimension, right?
Right, and it's saying
so
right.
by living in a two-dimensional world, the characters are not able to see the characters that are facing them on the screen.
Oh, that is an excellent insight.
But we can see that. So in a sense, in a way, we're kind of in the position of God.
Right. It's like we, the viewer, or the audience, or the perceiver within an art context, within an art world context. This is the art world. It's not the art scene. It is the art world. There's a big difference there. But we, as spectators of that world, we are outside of it. We're watching perhaps a two-dimensional world that is both connected yet unable to see each other, even though they are first-person video games on laptops. And it's also like, I like the idea of the first person and there being a vacancy. All I see is a hand with a gun aimed at nothing, which is interesting. But it's as though...
But there was a troll who walked by.
There was a troll. I didn't notice that on one of the screens.
Yeah, the troll walks by with a big a big sledgehammer once in a while.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
But you have to pay. Yeah, you have to watch it. It goes really quick.
Battleship has done a lot of works like this. It's hard to really place them into a medium easily. In some ways, they're site-specific installations. In other ways,
yeah.
I mean, but at the same time, I don't think he minds if you move them around. Here, I'll just kind of kick it around.
I met Battleship back when his name was Greg.
Yeah.
I won't say his last name. And he was just an art student at MIAD,
Just a regular guy.
the Milwaukee Institute of Art and Design.
Uh-huh.
And but he was just an undergrad student, and now he's the first when he started dating Helen Goulet.
Yeah, Helen.
That's when I first heard about him because I was friends with Helen.
Right.
In San Francisco.
Right.
And they moved to San Diego, and I moved to San Diego, and then I saw him a couple times, and then I went to their uncle's wedding or some family member's wedding.
Oh, sure.
And at that time, I mean, he had a couple shows in San Francisco and San Diego, but just like any friend of ours.
Just like anyone
Then
would just have a
before
couple
you know
shows.
it, it's just he blew up, and his
Exploded.
he was in Art Muscle.
Oh, yeah.
The front cover of Art Muscle every issue, and then he was named in the New York Review of Books as one of the most important video artists of our century.
Right.
Or of our times, I should say.
Right.
Yeah, or the new century.
Yeah.
The new millennium.
The new millennium. It's interesting. He seemed to make a very strong transition from sort of reverential minimalist work to work that is, like I said, more site-specific, but also like oddly detached. Like I just kind of kicked across the floor these attached. Again, if you're just tuning in, 935-2951 is our number.
They were like power strips
Right.
and power controls, and then some of the monitors just went black when you did that.
Yeah, but he seems to be pleased by it. He just walked past and smiled.
Yeah, and he encourages people to, intervene
Interact.
in the electronics themselves. And so the Elmo is.
He's playing the first-person shooter game.
Right.
He's actually playing it.
But
now.
before that, I don't know if you noticed, that's Elmo who took that whole monitor apart. So there's
he did.
pieces all over the floor.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It is kind of beautiful just to see components of a highly complex piece of sort of post-industrial machinery laid out like that, just sort of haphazardly. And I do like that Elmo is playing the first-person shooter World of Warcraft on one of the laptops that are part of the installation here, and he seems to be doing pretty well, actually.
Yeah.
He's winning. He says he is winning, and I like that. I wonder, and he is right now. I'm looking at the corner of the gallery, and I can see the artist known as Battleship, and he's smiling. He has a backwards hat on. And a Tasmanian devil hoodie, but he also has extremely expensive shoes. I mean, these are like really expensive. Yeah. And he's grinning watching Elmo actually play the video game right now. And I feel like almost like he knew that would happen, like a child, a young man, or a grown adult in the gallery wouldn't be able to resist actually playing a video game on the laptop which he installed here or perhaps placed here. Unbelievable. And they are playing the video game just as he planned. It's interesting. How much, Zav, do you think of being an artist is about anticipation, about almost being able to get to know life's rhythms enough that you can anticipate what might happen?
I think that that could come at a very young age, or it could come at any time. But it's like music. It's like knowing when
you just
feeling the rhythm. And some people are good at it and others aren't. That's just the way it is.
So in the end, maybe there is a place for the concept of intuition, sort of something that would be anti-Aristotelian, like something intuitive is sort of forgotten perhaps in today's culture. But this work is definitely, it seems to be holding a candle for a concept or an idea like intuition, feeling it out.
I feel that way about the Warhol piece as well.
The Warhol frames.
Yeah, the frames. I think that it sort of speaks to a new era in sort of the way we think as people, as a culture. That we live in a time where everything is uncertain, and we're revisiting the basic skeleton of of our economy, of our ecology, and at the same time we're discovering the inner workings, the lath work, so to speak, the tongue and groove of the universe, in a sense. You know, the idea. I mean, I know that's kind of a stretch, but the things we're learning about genetics and even about the brain and the way the mind works, at a certain time, you know, we'd probably be able to computerize art and not even have to make it ourselves. We can have robots make art.
Ooh. Here is another piece, and this is another piece by the artist Battleship, simply Battleship. And it's a microphone. And actually, there's a sign that says "Lick Me" on it. And I wonder if I should, for our listeners right now, lick the the microphone installed here in the Mud Gallery today as part of the exhibition by the artist Battleship.
Yeah.
Should I? I'm gonna look at it right now. It's a simple It's a simple microphone. And it's standing here, and it seems to be sort of reddish in color. And I'm looking at it very closely with my face. And I'm gonna. There's a sign below it that neatly printed in Helvetica font. In a Helvetica font, it says "Lick Me." So I suppose maybe I'll just get very close to the microphone. Very close. And it's also. I'm gonna take out my tongue. I'm gonna lick this piece of art because there's a sign on it that says "Lick Me" on this piece of art, which is a microphone. Here I go. I'm gonna lick the microphone.
So this program will take into account the space. Studying that space, I try to reach what the program
Ow! 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 Ow!
and then
Okay, I was just shocked by the microphone. That's interesting.
Well,
That I was shocked. I felt literally shocked.
I didn't predict that, but I thought that might be one of the things that would happen.
Oh, there's the pun. I was shocked by his art. Literally, I was actually literally shocked. I licked the sign on the microphone said, lick the microphone, and I mouthed the microphone.
Yes.
And I was shocked. You get it? I was literally shocked by Battleship's piece with is there a title on the wall here? Do you see the title of this piece?
It just says title chapter.
Title chapter.
Yeah.
God. See, again, anticipation of what is going to happen. Intuition, unbelievable. Well, that was really, really, really exciting.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that piece.
You
very
weren't
much.
really into that one.
Well, I like it, but I feel like there's something kind of overdone about it, sort of obvious.
Yeah.
I guess I just know I've seen Matthew Yummy's
Oh boy.
all of his work,
Yeah.
which is
There's a lot of that.
a lot of flavor.
Literal shocking. Asking.
And where he does it a little more in a more sophisticated way, that he does it through he's able to, through FM radio waves or some kind of radio waves, he actually can affect your nervous system and your tongue, so that you actually you can actually taste through it's like,
So his medium is the sense of
it's
taste.
the new thing that they're
Kind of popular.
that you will one day, we will be able to transmit smells just like we transmit sounds, and smells and flavors.
Incredible.
Yeah, and so I
You
mean,
feel
this-
like there's a lot of work like that.
well, I just think this piece is sort of like not even anywhere near as sophisticated as that work, and at the same time, this work is less poetic and less. It doesn't. It just doesn't really pull my heartstrings.
It's
as
a
much.
pun, essentially. It's a
Yeah,
pun.
it's kind of just it's novelty,
It's a novelty.
and
Right.
I just think the novelty of it will wear off.
That's interesting, because Battleship has done a lot of stuff. What's the name of the artist who did the piece?
Oh, this is Battleship's work?
Yeah, this is also Battleship.
Oh.
Kind of interesting. Kind of changes the way you think about it, doesn't it? Once
Wow,
you see.
okay, now that
look
you
underneath
mention-
the name. It says
okay.
Battleship by Battleship. You feel differently about it now?
Well, I mean, in the context of Battleship's work, this is kind of brilliant. I mean,
Yeah.
like the fact that it has like a Radio Shack tag on the
Yeah.
mic stand, the fact that the mic stand is a little distressed.
Yeah. See what I mean? Yes.
I'm getting it more.
Yeah,
See,
uh-huh.
I see that what he's doing is he's actually making a play about Matthew Yummy's work in a sense.
Yeah, he's talking
It's
about the other artist
critiquing-
who does.
I get it.
Get it?
I
It's
get
an
it.
art world context.
Yeah, okay,
it's
I
art
didn't
world.
get that at first.
Not
no,
art
that's
scene.
actually pretty brilliant.
Yeah, you see, and then it shocked my tongue. And now, also.
And now I see what you mean. That his
Yes,
work is shocked
shocked.
you, but that's a cliche again.
Two, another cliche.
It's like a
but it works.
A
you know?
cliche on punnery or a pun.
It's a cliche on the ideas, the idea of making a pun, a visual pun. Say in the manner of Magritte's, this is not a pipe.
Yeah. Well,
you know.
That said, we just we're gonna need to party a little more.
Okay, thanks for listening to
and-
Hello Caller today. Thanks for listening to our forum about bullying. You have been listening to Hello Caller live at the Mud Gallery. We have been looking at art all hour long. You've been giving us calls at 935-2951, which you can do every Thursday at 2 o'clock, baby. Give us a call, 935-2951. Because